Meanwhile, political observers maintain that Secretary Roxas is the most qualified among the possible presidents in next year's elections. We'll have the full story from Freddie Abando.
Local government secretary Roxas may not be leading in the surveys for the 2016 presidential race. However, political observers mark Roxas as the most qualified successor of President Aquino to continue the gains of the country. On paper, Roxas was a three-term congressman, served 3 cabinet posts under 3 administrations, from former President Estrada to President Arroyo as Trade Secretary, Transportation and Local Government Secretary with President Aquino. He also served 1 term in the Senate.
The issue about Roxas has got nothing to do with competence and experience. Okay? The problem is perception for Roxas. He is seen differently from, and he is being judged outside of his competence. Yeah. That is the problem that confronts Roxas. So he's got to do something to highlight his executive experience, his competence, and start convincing the public that his fitness for public office is higher than the other candidates. But what you can say about Roxas is his long stint in has adequately prepared him for the challenges of running a country. In the same way that Fidel Ramos, for example, in 1992, was the longest-serving executive official. And that did him well when he was running the country because he understood the business of running government. So
Roxas understands the business of
government. Oh yes, in terms of running government, the business of governance, I think Roxas has the longest experience among the candidates. Because the other candidates have not been executive officials at the national level. They were local government officials. If the basis is running the business of government, the other 2, for example, Bina and Duterte, are also very qualified, except that they've run local governments. Roxas has run at the national level.
However, surveys has played a pivotal role for voters to decide which candidate should they write on the ballot come election day. Senator Grace Poe's amazing run in the recent surveys has set the tone similar to her late father's quest in 2004. The late Fernando Poe's bid against former President Arroyo, the king of Philippine movies, lost the election. Top political analyst Pero de Vera from the University of the Philippines stressed survey should not be the major measure for voters to choose the next president.
Survey should not only be the basis to determine fitness for public office. Public perception about the acceptability of political leaders, of course, should be a factor. But other considerations, equally important, should be put into the equation. Otherwise, if you just rely on public perception as a basis of choice, you run the risk of turning this into a popularity contest and forgetting that the country has some very serious problems that needs very capable leaders who have the capacity to address national problems. So the 2 must come together. Acceptability as a political leader from the public, and ability and competence in handling national issues and international issues.
De Vera said it may be too early for Senator Poe to seek the presidency. It would be a wiser decision to run for vice president, since it provides sufficient time for her to prepare for the responsibility of governing a nation of over 100 million Filipinos. Although she has been in the Senate for 3 years and former head of the MTRCB, De Vera's advice has also been pushed by Senator Serge Osmeña. De Vera stressed it may not be enough given the demands of the presidency. The choice of advisors and cabinet members, putting in place her vision for the country, providing solutions to issues, conducting foreign policy, and more. It's a 24/7, 6-year job of ensuring the needs of the people are provided for and the nation is secure from foreign aggression.
She must start taking up issues. More important, she should already start telling the public who are the people who are going to help her run this country. Because to me, the competence of a president can be measured by his ability to attract very bright, very competent people along, to bring them along in his journey to the presidency.
Poe has been considered as the running mate of Roxas to boost his chances of winning. It may spark his rankings to the top, especially with the anointment of President Aquino, the solid support of the Liberal Party and its coalition partner. Last night, President Aquino met with Secretary Roxas, Senators Grace Poe, and Francis Escudero to firm up an alliance. For now, nothing is final. In the meantime, Roxas is slowly gaining support in many parts of the country. In the recent mock elections of all the members of the House from Region 1, 2, and the Cordilleras, Roxas won the vote, with 8 in his favor, 7 for Poe, 5 for Binay. Ifugao Congressman Teddy Baguilad said this is the start for Roxas to climb to the top of the rankings, and Poe, as running mate, will be a major boost.
Both have the and their weaknesses. No? So we cannot say na popularity, of course, medyo pabor kay Grace po, no? Experience perhaps and wisdom probably si Roxas, no? In terms of strength, grassroots, definitely machinery, political machinery, may hawak si Mar dyan dahil mas matagal siya sa politika mas marami siyang allies.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.